When we hit 50, 60, and beyond, our focus tends to change, doesn't it? We start thinking more about our health, how to live a long and healthy life, and the legacy we want to leave behind. And for a lot of us, there's a quiet fear that can start to creep in, the fear of a serious illness, especially cancer. It can feel like a roll of the dice, something totally out of our hands. We see it happen to friends and family, and feeling helpless is easy. But what if you had more power over this than you realize? What if one of the best scientifically backed tools for cancer prevention wasn't some futuristic drug, but something you could hold in your hand and add to your grocery list today? For years, top oncologists and researchers, like the pioneering Dr. William Li, have revealed a revolutionary idea that we can use food as medicine. The concept is that certain foods contain potent natural compounds that can boost our body's defense systems, helping us fight off the very diseases we're afraid of. One leading oncologist has even named his #1 superfood, the most essential food he tells his patients over 50 to eat for cancer prevention. In this video, we're going to explore that thoroughly. I will tell you precisely what that #1 superfood is. We'll look at the incredible science of why it works so well. And most importantly, I'll show you simple, easy ways to make it a part of your life, starting now. This isn't about miracle cures. It's about empowerment. It's about taking back control of your health. So, let me ask you a direct question. Have you ever wondered why the risk for so many diseases, including cancer, seems to jump up after we hit our 50th birthday? It's not just a coincidence and not just bad luck. There's a biological reason for it, and understanding it is the first step toward fighting back. The problem: cancer risk after 50. As we age, our bodies go through some significant changes on a cellular level. Think of your body as a busy city running 24/7 for 5 decades. Naturally, some of the infrastructure will show some wear and tear. One key part of this is something scientists call cellular senescence. This is when our cells, after dividing for years, get tired. They stop making new cells, but they don't disappear. They hang around and release inflammatory stuff that can create an environment where cancer is more likely to grow. At the same time, our DNA, the blueprint for our cells, has been exposed to a lifetime of potential damage. Every bit of sun, pollution, or processed food we've encountered over the years can cause tiny errors in our genetic code. When we're young, our bodies are excellent at fixing this damage. But as we get older, that repair system can slow down. The repair crews aren't as fast or accurate, and some mistakes can slip through. These accumulated errors can eventually cause a cell to become cancerous. There's a third piece to this puzzle: our immune system. Your immune system is your army, constantly on patrol for invaders and abnormal cells, including cancer cells. A healthy immune system finds and destroys these rogue cells before they become a real problem. But with age, this army can get a little less vigilant. This process, called immunosenescence, means our surveillance isn't as sharp, which can give cancer cells a chance to get a foothold and multiply. When you put these 3 things together, aging cells creating inflammation, a lifetime of DNA damage, and a weaker immune system, you can see why cancer risk goes up with age. It's like a perfect storm inside our cells. This might sound grim, but I want you to see it for what it is: a biological process. And because it's a process, we can intervene. We can take steps to support our bodies, strengthen our defenses, and make our internal environment less friendly to cancer. And that's where the power of your plate comes in. The conventional wisdom versus a new approach. For a long time, the advice on cancer prevention has mostly been about what to avoid. And let's be clear, it's excellent advice. We're told don't smoke, limit alcohol, stay at a healthy weight, and exercise. These are the foundations of good health and lower your cancer risk. We should all be doing these things, but that approach is primarily defensive. It's about not doing bad things. What modern science is showing us now with incredible clarity is that there's also an offensive strategy we can use. It's not just about avoiding the negatives, but actively adding positives. Think of it this way. Not smoking is like choosing not to walk through a minefield, a smart decision. But what if you could also wear a suit of armor as you go through life? That's what a strategic anti-cancer diet is. It's your body's suit of armor. Leading medical researchers are showing that specific foods have bioactive compounds, natural chemicals, that can directly interfere with the cancer process. These compounds are like allies for your body. They help detoxify harmful substances, cool down chronic inflammation, protect your DNA from damage, and even help your immune system get better at spotting and destroying cancer cells. This changes everything. It moves you from just hoping you don't get sick to a position of active empowerment. Every meal becomes an opportunity to build a more substantial, resilient body. You are not just a potential disease victim. You are an active defender of your health. So this leads to the big question. With all the foods in the world, where do we even begin? If a top oncologist, someone who sees the harsh reality of cancer every day, could recommend just one food group to his patients over 50, what would it be? What's the most potent, evidence-backed superfood for fighting cancer as we age? The big reveal. The #1 superfood. The answer isn't some exotic, expensive fruit from a remote island. It's not a rare herb you have to hunt for online. It's a family of humble, powerhouse vegetables you can find in any grocery store. The #1 superfood group that oncologists and major cancer organizations consistently recommend for cancer prevention, especially for those over 50, is cruciferous vegetables. We're talking about broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, bok choy, and radishes. In study after study, these vegetables have shown remarkable anti-cancer properties. They are, hands down, the heavyweight champions of the produce aisle regarding cancer prevention. They're so special due to one unique sulfur-rich compound. It's so powerful that it's become a significant focus of scientific research for its ability to fight cancer on a molecular level. That compound is called sulforaphane. The science made simple. Why cruciferous vegetables? So what is this stuff, sulforaphane, and what does it do in your body? This is where the science gets cool. Sulforaphane isn't just a passive vitamin, it's an active compound that tells your cells how to defend themselves. Let's break down its 3 main superpowers. First, think of sulforaphane as your cell's master detoxifier. Every day we're exposed to potential carcinogens, cancer-causing stuff from the environment, food, or even our own body's processes. Sulforaphane flips a switch in our cells that ramps our body's detoxification enzymes. It's like calling in an elite cleaning crew for every cell in your body. This crew seeks out those harmful toxins, neutralizes them, and gets them ready to be safely flushed out of your body before they can damage your DNA. Second, sulforaphane acts as a guardian of your DNA. Remember how we said that accumulated DNA damage is a huge reason we see more cancer with age? Sulforaphane provides a robust defense. Studies show it can stop mutations from happening in our DNA. It also has another amazing trick. It can inhibit something called HDAC enzymes. Simply put, these enzymes can sometimes lock up our body's tumor suppressor genes, the very genes designed to stop cancer. By blocking these HDAC enzymes, sulforaphane unlocks our natural defenses, letting those tumor suppressor genes return to work protecting us. It's like a master locksmith ensuring your best security guards are always on duty. Third, and this is pretty incredible, sulforaphane is cancer cell inhibitor. In numerous lab studies, sulforaphane has been shown to slow cancer cell growth and even trigger apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. It sends a signal to cancer cells telling them their time is up. Think of it like slamming the brakes on a runaway car. It doesn't just slow it down, it helps bring it to a complete stop by making it harder for cancer cells to multiply and spread. And the science on this is powerful. Many large-scale studies have shown that people who eat more of these vegetables have a significantly lower risk of several types of cancer. For instance, some research suggests that having 3 or more servings a week could be linked to a reduced risk of prostate and bladder cancer. While no single food can guarantee you won't get cancer, the evidence for cruciferous vegetables is too compelling to ignore. If you find this information valuable and it helps you feel like you can be an active player in your health, please hit that like button right below this video. If you haven't yet done so, click subscribe. When you do that, you're not just helping our channel, you're telling the YouTube algorithm that this is important. Science-backed health information that more people concerned about their health after 50 need to see. How to maximize the benefits. Preparation and integration. Knowing cruciferous vegetables are good for you is one thing. Knowing how to get the most benefit out of them is another. How you prepare them matters. The key compound, sulforaphane, isn't just sitting inside the broccoli. It's a chemical reaction that creates it. Cruciferous vegetables have a precursor called glucoraphanin and an enzyme called myrosinase. In the plant, they're kept in separate little compartments. They only mix and create sulforaphane when the plant is damaged, chopped, crushed, or chewed. But here's the catch. Myrosinase enzyme is susceptible to heat. If you boil or nuke your broccoli into mush, you destroy the enzyme and won't get that sulforaphane production. How do you work around this? First, use the peen to chop and wait method. Research shows that if you chop your broccoli, kale, or cauliflower and let it sit for about 40 minutes before you cook it, you give that enzyme time to do its job and create a good amount of sulforaphane. Once it's made, sulforaphane is much more heat stable. So, a great habit is to chop your veggies first, let them rest on the cutting board, and then prep everything else for your meal. Second, think about your cooking method. The best way to preserve these compounds is to cook them lightly. Steaming for just 3 to 5 minutes is perfect. Roasting and a light sauté are also good choices. The goal is to make them tender, but not overcooked. Third, eat them raw. Tossing raw broccoli florets into a salad or shredding cabbage for coleslaw is a guaranteed way to get the full benefit. And here's a pro tip. Broccoli sprouts are the undisputed kings of sulforaphane. They can have up to 100 times more of it than a mature broccoli head. Just tossing a small handful into a smoothie or salad is a compelling way to boost your intake. How much should you eat? A good goal is at least 3 to 5 servings per week. A serving is about 1 cup raw or a half cup cooked, and remember to mix it up. Rotate between broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cabbage to get a wide range of beneficial compounds. 6. Building a cancer-fighting plate. Other oncologist-approved foods. While cruciferous vegetables are a top recommendation, no single food works alone. The best strategy is to build an overall diet filled with various plant-based, cancer-fighting foods. Think of it as putting together a team of superheroes, where each one has a unique power. Here are some of the other all-stars that oncologists often recommend. 1. Berries. Especially dark ones like blueberries and blackberries. They're loaded with antioxidants and compounds called anthocyanins, which have been shown to fight inflammation and slow tumor growth. 2. Pulses. This means beans, lentils, and chickpeas. They are packed with fiber, essential for a healthy gut and strongly linked to a lower risk of colorectal cancer. 3. Nuts and seeds. Walnuts have been studied for their potential to slow the growth of certain cancers. Flax seeds and chia seeds are full of protective omega-3s and compounds called lignans. 4. Whole grains. Oatmeal, brown rice, and quinoa are other excellent sources of fiber. Studies connect a high intake of whole grains with a lower risk for several cancers. 5. Fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, powerful anti-inflammatories. Since chronic inflammation is a major driver of cancer, keeping it under control is key. 6. Tomatoes and garlic. Cooked tomatoes are a fantastic source of lycopene, an antioxidant linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer. Garlic contains allicin, a protective compound promising to slow down cancer progression. A perfect example of an oncologist-approved breakfast could be a bowl of oatmeal topped with a handful of fresh berries and a sprinkle of walnuts. In just one meal, you're getting fiber, antioxidants, and multiple cancer-fighting compounds all working together. A word of caution: the importance of personalization. Now, it's essential to be clear that this information is for educational purposes, to empower you with knowledge. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice. No diet can cure cancer, and these strategies should be seen as a way to support your health, not replace conventional medical care. Before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you have a health condition or are on medication, you must talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian. This is especially true for cruciferous vegetables, which are high in vitamin K and can interfere with blood thinners. A professional can help you create a safe and proper plan for you. Health isn't one size fits all. We started this conversation by talking about a common fear that comes with getting older, the fear of losing control over our health. I hope what you've learned today has started to replace some of that fear with a real sense of empowerment. Science shows us that while we can't change our chronological age, we can have a say in how we age. We can be active players in our own health story. By making wise choices about our food, we can create an internal environment that is strong, resilient, and less welcoming to disease. The main takeaway is simple but powerful. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale are a top superfood group for cancer prevention after 50, thanks to the fantastic power of sulforaphane. Aiming for 3 to 5 servings a week, prepared correctly, is one of the best things you can do for your long-term health. And remember to build a diverse, colorful, plant-rich plate around them, with berries, beans, nuts, and whole grains. These aren't just foods, but investments in your health bank account. Every healthy meal is a deposit toward a longer, more vibrant future. You have the power to build a body that defends itself. Now that you know the number one food to add to your diet, what foods might you want to cut back on? In the video on your screen right now, we break down the top foods that could secretly fuel inflammation and increase your cancer risk. Click F on that video to continue your journey. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for more science-backed health information to help you live your best life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the following video.